Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. I really appreciate you guys as we give you guys this content right here. Let me know if my audio is too low. It appears that it could be. Make sure that that's okay. Just bear with me while I set up the house. You guys know I'm building the plane while it's in the air. Really do appreciate you guys. We're going to go over the players that stood out to me in practice and things like that. So just bear with me. I just came off of a show with Big Game James as well as Boss Cowboy and the OC. We was doing a conversation there. Audio is low. I kind of figured that. I don't know why it's so low. Let me see if I can fix it. Can you guys hear me now? Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's muted right there. What about now? Testing, mic check, 1, 2. Now that turned it off. And what about now? How low is it? Audio is super low. It's a bit low. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe blue or something. Yeah, I'm seeing that the dials are low. And I've got it all the way up to its max. I wonder why. Now bear with me. If I go like this, that only changes that. Still a little low, but it's okay. I don't know what's going on. All right, maybe if I talk like this, is it higher now? Jeez, it's still. I can't hold this mic all day. Is it higher this way? But I'm looking at the levels there. Shout out to you, Cowboy fan Mayfield. Appreciate you. Pour water on it. No, I can't do that. They'll blow it up. Let's see if I can do it this way. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation. For some reason, the audio is extremely low on my end, and I'm speaking as loud as I can go without waking up anybody. Let me see if I can do it this way. Now, y'all can hear that. I know y'all can hear that. It sounds normal, but I can't hold that mic that long in my hand. All right, so we'll just make it real quick. We'll make it real quick then, since it's late anyhow. And go like this. Okay. It's crazy though. Murphy Law, Murphy Law, always Murphy Law, and that's the problem is with it. But I'll be back home shortly, so you guys can get the real deal from me at the crib or what have you. But neither here nor there, Cowboy Nation. The player that stood out, of course, we talked about Boss Man Fat. We talked about Dak Prescott, of course, battling through like a shoulder situation. And I think I had a display earlier. You guys can look at that display illustration there, and you see Cowboys QB Prescott has strained his latissimus muscle. That's the lower back end of your shoulder there. One can argue and say it's the back and it's a mild strain, and this would take time to heal. So he is going to have to. I got to yell so you guys can hear me. So I'm yelling basically. I don't know if I can do the whole show like this, but Maurice Kennedy is the guy next to him on this illustration. Now, reason why we're talking about this, we got a preseason game that's up, and the preseason game is just purely an evaluation that you have to really look into and say, all right, who are our backups? Which player do we need to see out there in order for them to excel themselves and push themselves in a certain situation, whereas we won't have to break the fire, bust glass in case of fire, so we won't have to do that, right? So my thing is, to get a true evaluation, you got to see who you got out of a Gary Gilbert. You got to see what you got out of a Bandanucci. I know last season Bandanucci left a terrible taste in a lot of people's mouths, especially against that Eagles game, right? And a lot of people look at it like, man, this dude was trying to bowl the ball, trying to throw it. But neither here. Shout out to you, Sip the Truth 34. Appreciate you so much, man. And thank you so much for your love and adulations for this station. I really appreciate you. So before you guys go out there and say, okay, let's bring in a Blake Bortles, for crying out loud, you got to see what you got out of Garrett Gilbert. Blake Bortles had his fun in the sun. Blake Bortles had his time out there playing. And trust me, he ain't the savior. You get what you got out of, well, you will get what you get out of Blake Bortles, for crying out loud. So I look at it like this, Cowboy Nation. I'm yelling because that's the only way I can get this point out. I hope my neighbors or whoever that stay next door say, man, will this guy ever shut up? But it is what it is, because I don't know why this mic is not working. I make sure I got it plugged all the way in. Yeah. So we need to figure that part out, Cowboy Nation. As we proceed to the next piece of the conversation, the defensive back. Will Bossman Fat, a.k.a. I guess now Kelvin Joseph, if you want to go give his government name out there or go by his government name out there, will he be the guy that can help this thing out? Well, I come here to tell you guys that this is the situation and scenario. He's been doing his good job against the twos and the threes. We've been waiting to see him go against the ones, and they've been putting that on clamp. They've been like, nah, we ain't going to share that bit of information to everybody out there. So we absolutely don't know, but against what we can see, against those twos and threes, he's holding his job down. He is absolutely doing his deal. Gerald Beasley says Blake Bortles is a paycheck stealer. I agree. I mean, you got to dance with what you got. You know, as Luther says, love the one you with. And Luther was a bad man, right? or old folks say, rode the horse you rode in on. Yeah, that's some wisdom for you guys. All right, so my thing is back to the defensive side of the coin. Let's see what Bossman Fat do. Let's see what Bossman Fat do against the Steelers wide receivers. Against the Steelers backup quarterback. Yeah. Tizzy says is boss man. Yeah. Yeah. What happened to us? This is from Eddie Davis. What happened to us getting Geno Atkins? Well, to me personally, the Cowboys like to see who they got now out of an O. So this is a heavy front four. This is not a front four that you're looking at it like, you got this guy, number 96, Neville Gallimore, who's fighting upfield, getting upfield, doing his thing. Then you got Justin Hamilton, and you got the likes of a big boy named Big Bo Hanna. He's doing his thing. Those guys are playing and fighting and chasing, getting upfield. So to give the proper evaluation, you got to see them out there in practice and as well as out there during the preseason. I'm quite sure that they already know what you got out of a Geno Atkins or what you can get out of a Geno Atkins, and his asking price is too high. So as the days go by, his price tag drops. That's just how the natural flows of the money goes. And right now, Carlos Watkins, believe it or not, is in the front starting rotation. And then you got number 95, Brad Urban. So they want to see who they got out of their guys now. And if they wet the bed, come against the Steelers, and then if they wet the bed the second preseason games, they'll knock on the door, and they will call Geno Atkins in for a cup of coffee. Bring him in for one of these. You want a cup of coffee? That's what they would do. Is Jordan Lewis in camp? This is from Trizzy. Yeah, he's in camp. He was back out there on the field today. He was back practicing today. He got off the cords, so he's back out there. Eddie, appreciate you. CD will be our beast wide receiver on Dallas. Our best wide receiver on Dallas. Coming out of college and being the first-round draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys, the expectations for CeeDee Lamb to be such is there. He's supposed to be the pass. He was not graduated, but he was drafted in the first round to do such. Shout out to you, Trips. What's good? Went with the Joneses was crazy for drafting CD. Yeah. Remember, yeah. Yolanda Williams, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Rocky, thank you for jumping in on the Facebook groove. Shout out to you, James Quick. Thank you so much. You can't hear? Okay, I'm going to start the stream all the way over with. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's start it all the way over again. Let's start the stream over again.